Hello, and welcome back to 16 Candlekeeps, the place where the editors pass their death saves with whichever characters can survive the death saves. Too soon? It's been a month.
So rude.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, hi. Welcome to the bants that you will be getting. If you'd like to continue these bants, remember to like, subscribe, share with friends, share with enemies, share with anyone you like. Anyway, ring the bell for notifications to know when I'm going to be laying down this sass, and the rest of them just like thwarting my plans. Anyway, it is September, and the one thing that we all want to know, I hand over to this way to Mr. Bingle Bang Bang as we find out who potentially may be getting a fancy new tray.
Obviously we ran our giveaway recently, and we have our winner of the D&Dice scroll case dice mat of glory. It's totally not what it's called. And then there is also a set of dice, and that will be making its way to, drumroll please. We'll add that in post.
Sound effect on here, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
And that is going to AJ Clark. So, congratulations. We will be in contact with you soon through the official 16 Candlekeeps channels. And we will get that prize out to you. And then, hopefully, those dice are blessed, unlike the characters who lost their lives in the process to get them to you. That's it. Stay tuned in future times for more giveaways, because there are more to come.
Always good. Always good. Lovely. There we go. So, there's things. Hi, welcome back. And now, we jump into regular scheduled viewing. For those that can't remember, let's have a quick catch-up of what happened last time in the places that things happened. After walking into two cultists torturing a shopkeep, the three adventurers under Captain Zodge's hire were bloodied and bruised before being slain whilst trying to rest up by the hideout's highest-ranking cultist. This was the last known actions of the cult, as the murders and activity have dropped with their base of operation being compromised. The people of Baldur's Gate have had enough and have started to leave to the north, where they hope that they will find some sort of safety. Two travellers that are seemingly ignoring the current travel plans of everyone else arrived in the port of Baldur's Gate with an interest in what the masses are currently flicking. Fairly short, drow-like travellers with lilac skin, white hair, and purple eyes, also armed to the teeth, decided to find what the cesspool of the south can offer them. As they headed into town, they found themselves in the midst of the Flaming Fist's plans to try alleviate any further problems, including that of a problematic local musician and layabout by the name of Jayquo, a half-elf bard who has both bright and clashing personality and dress sense. Seeing no visible healer, the group were given a bag of healing potions and a small incendiary device to assist them in whatever they might find themselves in, should they find themselves tied into the current ongoings, as the Vanthampur family, who are known as the kind of more rich and one of the four dukes of Baldur's Gate, have been tied into the recent murders, and Captain Zodge plans to go south and try to arrest them in their villa. That's where we left off. Let's find out how people do, what they want, what they might like. Hi everyone. Tell me, please. You're in the middle of the city, last we left off. It's about mid-afternoon. What would you guys like to do?
I believe that we had checked in with Jayquo as sort of our guide to...
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
Jayquo knows where the house is. Apparently.
You did, indeed.
Did.
So
Jayquo got all excited because he knew the way.
Izzdril will just check in again. Are you absolutely certain that you know the way?
Yes. Wasn't making that up. Sometimes I make stuff up, but not that. That is, yeah, I genuinely know where we're going.
And
You just have to trust me.
how do I trust that that wasn't something that you just made up?
I don't know. That's between you and your conscience. Yes? You'll see. You'll see when we get there. Of course, if you decide not to follow me and to make your own way there, then it is on your own head. And I will either see you at the lodge or I won't. And that's the way it is.
Lovely. So, just for your information, Jayquo, as you would be giving this out, you know that the villa is in the Cloakwood to the south. You need to follow the coast way, which is the main kind of trade route between here and Candlekeep to the south, as well as leading further down into the forests of Tethir, and where no other D&D campaign has ever gone before, south of Sword Coast.
So we're going to follow the coastway.
There's a place called Omn, just south of this. You need to find a map somewhere else.
No. There's only the Sword Coast.
We're just...
That's all that there is.
That's all, yeah.
The Forgotten Realms is the Sword Coast,
if
right?
If you continue going further south, you meet the place where the Dragonborn are from and everything. I didn't know about this until once upon a time I found the second map that nobody wants you to see.
Yep.
And it's hilarious going, this is Toril, and this itty bitty thing over here is Sword Coast. Like,
the tiny Sword
Coast. Why
Coast.
are we over here? Like, all your bad guys come from over in Thay over there. Anyway, let's not go into that. R.A. Salvatore did a fantastic job of writing a series of novels which make us all feel like we're in the Sword Coast every time we pick up the books. Anyway, so yes, you know.
So we're following the coastway.
It's the coastway.
Get to the Vanthampur Lodge Villa.
Yes, it's about a 3 or 4 day walk, and probably half of that if you're half that on a horse if you're able to get horses. You would know of local stables and such to get horses should you want to use that facility. But you would know that essentially you're following down the road, the main road, for about 3 or 4 days, and then you'd head off west or to your right as you're riding down. For those that need a more visual, turn right into the forest that is to your right or to the west of the map. You would then ride in for another day or two, and it is secluded in this kind of like nice kind of clearing within the Cloakwood itself.
Cool. So it's like they live in a centre parks.
Yeah, kind of. They are
Such
fancy.
a British reference.
Any American viewers are not going to understand that.
For any Americans, it's like they've put a large mansion inside of Six Flags. I think.
With more trees.
More trees. Think Forest Frontiers from Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, and that's probably halfway. Yeah, that's where our references are not 80s anymore. They're just
Think a national park, but smaller.
It's in Yellowstone, but
tinier, much tinier.
Gazers.
Yeah.
Guises. Anyway.
Gazers?
And Yogi
Move
Bear.
on from my nonsense and let's talk about what you guys want to do.
Okay. So Jayquo will ask, do you guys want to get horses? And he'll tell them all the information you've just said, Steve, about how long it takes and where we have to go and terrain and all that sort of stuff. Horses a thing that you guys ride? Have you ridden before?
He thinks that we've come from the middle of nowhere or something. Does he think the horses don't exist where we're from?
Oh, no.
I do believe that might be the case, but let's roll with it.
I mean, I wasn't trying to insult you or anything. I was just, I don't know what areas horses live in, and I didn't know if you had horses where you were from, but
We do tend to ride creatures, much the same as everyone else. For us, our trusty steed would be the noble companion, the snowy owlbear.
You guys can ride owlbears?
Yes, they're
Oh.
very tame.
The ones we've tamed, yes.
Oh. Awesome. Okay, that's cool.
Anyway, a horse should
Yeah,
suffice
there's a
to
stables.
get us there quicker, after all this.
Yeah, there's a stables right here. Gesturing to a stables that's conveniently right here.
Lovely. As you come up to, as you come up to a typical looking building with a red roof, to make an American reference that I've definitely stolen from something.
So we're making up for the Centre Parks reference by just now catering exclusively to Americans with their
red roof in, yeah. It will come back to me, and I'm going to shout at the middle of the episode, and you'll all get points if you can, in the comments, tell me before I say it, and you're allowed to timestamp it in your comment. Tell me in the comment what podcast I've stolen it from, because I will remember at some point. Oh, look at your comments. Anyway.
See, I was going to say Al's Toy Barn, and then you said podcast, not from a podcast.
Is it last podcast on the left?
No. Anyway, you find yourself in we're never making last podcast references. It's trying to stay PG, as PG as possible. Anyway, yes, you head into this stable to save the mundanity of certain conversations you might not need. You can rent a horse for 10 gold pieces.
Oh.
You will get half your money back on return of your horse, or if when heading into other cities around the area, should you drop in your horse at a red roof stable, you will be able to claim your money back there, as it's a chain. Lawful Stupid Season 1. Campaign 1 of Lawful Stupid. There you go. Boom.
There you go,
If
you've
you
done
got
it.
it in the chat, well done.
You got it in that brief 30 seconds before Steve said it.
50 XP. Tell your DM.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Tell your DM.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
50 XP from a random podcast.
Yes, so if you'd like to rent horses, you've got
Yes, please.
10 gold. So if you want to mark that off, you get yourselves nice draft horses. They're all very amiable and not very brusque in any fashion. Just simple tack and stuff that are added to your charges later down the line that you don't know of. No, you get everything that you need. You're set off on your way, and I assume you're just heading south straight away.
Yeah,
Jayquo
just wants to go.
Yeah.
Cool.
All the while, Izzdril is just going, but where are the claws? And where is the beak?
How many druids do they have down here? They turned them all into a stable? Anyway. What's even funnier is, because for those that have been paying attention, we have some drow-like players, and Underdark doesn't have any of that. Underdark just has, problems. They don't ride anything, they just survive where they can. Anyway,
you are not allowed to divulge our secrets.
I'm not saying anything.
We will have to kill you.
I have just said that you're drow-like, and just said that they're probably from Underdark, because everyone knows that all drow come from the Underdark.
Yeah.
They all have Australian accents, because it's the Underdark, like down under. Anyway, very hot, very deadly, there are monsters you don't want to deal with, and also there's the Underdark. So you guys ride for 2 days. It is a fairly delightful affair. The sun is out. It is peak summer, or flame rule as the month we're in. You have lovely green swaths of fields left and right. You have a large forest growing to your right, more north, if not northwest, the southwest on the compass, but to your kind of like your on your 2-3 o'clock, you're getting a large forest appearing on the coast itself, which you would believe to be the Cloakwood. Any conversations, any things you guys want to chat about, do, say, be, or try whilst riding for 2 days?
I would literally be interrogating Jayquo. I want to know more about his life.
So, Jayquo, if you would like to load up your backstory document and get ready to share whatever you've got.
That's funny.
Hey, improvise. It's fine. We've just added in owlbears.
Yeah, my backstory just comes as the game goes on, and then I go, "Oh, here's an interesting thing I've just thought of."
What information would you share is the question. Because obviously you don't have to give everything. You can.
No, I know. Oh, yeah, I know. He's fairly open, but essentially, depending on what it was that you were going to ask, he has been brought up with his parents and his younger brother. He has had a very normal and boring life, and it's fairly well understood that once you leave your family home, you kind of just go into working in the local area, and he does not want to do that, and he wants to go out and make something of himself, ideally by becoming a famous musician. But if that fails, by any means necessary. So that's kind of him. That's pretty much all he'll tell you. I don't know if you were going to ask specific questions about his parents or anything like that, but his reasoning for going on this journey was to kind of make a name for himself. And he kind of annoys people until they give him what he wants. So he's me, but as a
skills.
guitarist. Yeah.
And what useful skills do you bring to the party?
I am inquisitive. I am nice. I have a good sense of humour. I am polite, and I am rarely late. I can play various instruments, and he gestures to the... I realised when we filmed this last time, I borrowed Steve's electric guitar just as pure prop purposes. But we'll go with lute. We'll go fantasy guitar. I play the lute. I also play the flute, and I play the drums as well. So if we are in need of music, I can provide it through any means necessary.
Good for distractions and more.
I feel like you're taking notes on me, and I don't feel a bit like I'm being interviewed.
And what would you say is your biggest weakness?
Interviews.
Does not do well under pressure. Sure. Right. If you were in danger, how would you protect yourself?
Probably cause a distraction, and then if that didn't work, I would jump in with a spell or with a weapon, and I would fight until the people that I love and care about are safe.
Good. Not selfish. We like someone that's not selfish and useful and can also look after themselves. Okay, you passed the test. That's fine.
Thanks.
And she'll just smile really sweetly.
Thanks very much. Do I have the job? Very, very kind of you.
You're our escort. We've got no other way of getting there.
Oh, I'm glad I'm useful. So, question for you in return. You guys are drow, right?
Yes.
I'm confused because we're not underground right now, and we're out in the sunlight, and you don't seem that bothered by it. So I was trying to tactfully find a way of asking.
Common misconception. Absolutely fine. Don't you worry about it.
Oh, okay. I don't know much.
Hashtag not all drow.
Oh, oh, that's funny. Oh, you guys are pretty woke. Okay.
You guys are pretty woke. Oh my god, I'm going to quote that in my next social media post.
Oh, fantastic.
I miss Icewind Dale.
I may nearly spit water everywhere then. I've now decided I'm making Jayquo just pure millennial. But what other annoying things can he come out with? If you see me just writing during it, it's because I've just thought of another thing.
Oh no, you're fine. Oh, what was the name of that deity? Can you remember?
I need to give a bit more specifics.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, no, sorry. The one that I originally was like, oh yeah, this would totally work with our backstory, and then you read books and was like, oh no, that doesn't work. I've lost my notes.
oh,
One, it's here somewhere. Oh, there's a massive just gap where it says faith in mine.
Saloon. It's normally one of the go-to for elves.
No, it's a drow specific one, and I can't.
Lol.
It's like the daughter of.
Yeah.
that's
Lolth.
frustrating. Yeah.
It's the daughter of Lolth, whatever
Uh,
their name is.
Ailestray.
Elistray, thank you.
I was going to say, if it's anything like Tiamat, just do an anagram of Lolth, because that's how
It's the daughter of Corallan and Lolth.
Oh god. Oh,
Oh,
there's a
she
dark
sounds
night for
happy.
you.
Triss would poo-poo off your questioning of us being drow by explaining that many followers of Elistray are actually surface dwellers. Not all of us live underground. And
Jayquo will just take that on faith and just go, okay, well, if anyone's going to tell me about you guys, who knows you best, it's probably you guys. Drow that is okay in sun. Oh.
There's so many notes right now and none of it makes sense.
No, I've started a page on the sort of stuff I find out from you guys, but I am reading it back going, what? Okay, cool. How does that relate to what we're actually doing? Thanks.
Lovely. So,
Thanks.
Is there anything else that you guys would chat about, or shall we jump over the 2 days of very always important travel?
Let's do the travel.
Jump.
Let's do the travel. Oh god, we've done
some of that awkward camp talk.
It's always that really nice thing of it's just fields. It's nothing to look at. There's no statues. There's nothing. It's just open fields. And nice. There's a dirt track. Occasionally,
frogs or
a cloud goes past in the sky. Anyway,
like an episode of Scooby Doo. It's just the same three things.
That scenery just going back.
Yeah.
It's the thing from like 50s movies where it's just on two spinners and it's just a sheet that is being moved round and round. Anyway,
we're not actually going anywhere. It's the scenery that's moving for us.
You're just bobbing up and down. Anyway, so
Jayquo is absolutely the sort of person who points out whenever you see horses or cows or oddly shaped clouds, because
I said I wouldn't.
Pain in the arse.
Occasionally says, "Are we there yet?" Even though we're the ones that don't know where we're going.
Yeah, you may have to remind him you don't know where you're going.
So you guys head into the tree line after 2 days into the actual Cloakwood itself, following the track. You would come across, after a day of riding, a large opening in the tree line itself where you see a gated villa. It's kind of your kind of Louisiana kind of townhouse sort of thing. For those that have a recent reference, think that the publicity shot of Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, that one with the crew where they're doing the Reservoir Dogs and they're walking up to the white building. Anyway, Google it. You see this beautiful 2-story building. It's kind of more rustic in colours and materials that have been used to build it. There are a lot of kind of austere-looking kind of battlements that have been placed around the roofing itself to make it look a bit more kind of threatening for some reason. You can see as you're coming in, you'd be coming in from the east, so you can see that you have this walled gate, walled area with kind of fences around with the typical kind of like struts with spikes on the top. There are 2 gates that you can see from this distance leading into the kind of garden around the building, and there is a stable that would be on the far northern side of the garden itself. Depending on how close you get, you can see that there are regular patrols of what look like foot soldiers walking around the gardens themselves in groups of 3.
These like human foot soldiers, or are they anything else?
They are pit fiends. No, they're not. I'm so.
You wrote that down.
See how much I can throw in here. They are. It's been recent that Spelljammer's come out. They're Abyssal Dreadnoughts. Anyway, you.
No,
not allowed yet. So you see that they are typical human-looking, seem to be fairly young in age, quite malnourished in some respects. The armor isn't kind of fit to their build.
oh good.
They just look like your typical kind of like the local lads who have signed up for service rather than actual kind of like battle-hardy, brisk-looking gentlemen or ladies of description from stories of old.
Okay. Well, this is it. And he gestures to the villa. In case you hadn't realised already, this is where we were going. Waiting for Steve to jump in and say, this is actually not the villa. This is just a house you see on the journey.
Nope.
This is the villa! I was right.
We've done the travel bit. You don't see anything. You're at the place. It's up to you how you guys want to arrive here. As I say, you can stop as early as you like, or you can get right up close as if you're just travelling there as visitors. There is a gate that you can see at the end of the track that you're travelling down towards the actual gardens area itself. Yeah.
So do we like knock on the door, or did you just want to run in?
I imagine we should probably be keeping to the tree line on the way in, and we should try and at least stealth into this area.
Good plan. That's exactly what I was going to suggest.
I would also maybe suggest we don't go in all guns blazing, considering this is a very powerful person.
Yes.
We definitely want to play our cards quite close to our chest.
Yes. Polite, but stealthy.
Lovely. Can I have a group stealth check with advantage because they don't know you're here?
Oh my god. No way.
24 for Jayquo.
Oh, lovely.
14.
14.
21.
21. Lovely. So between the 3 of you, you dismount. You kind of tie up the horses a fair bit outside of the actual building or the garden area itself, so you're not ever going to have an issue with your horses being spotted. You start to sneak within the tree line down to the walls, the fences itself. Sorry, and you can see now that you're looking in, there is about 15 feet at any one point where the fence is closest to the building, and then as it comes down to the kind of like north the southwest, the southeast, the corners of the garden itself is a bit more space where they've got like apple trees that have been planted. There looks to be, from the position that you are approaching, you've got windows that you can see on the first floor, but there's no windows on the ground floor that you can see on the side that you're approaching. However, you can see a slight veranda that is jutting out of the northern side of the building further along. How would you like to...
Any of the windows? Can I see if any of the windows have any kind of visible locks to them?
They look fairly, from your position, you can see they just look fairly pedestrian, if you will. There doesn't seem to be any like signs of anything like barring or any kind of like typical like security locks. It looks your typical kind of window on a first floor sort of thing.
Okay.
Nothing too suspect.
How sturdy does the wooden frame around them look?
They look, from this distance, you can see that the building is in a bit of disrepair. They don't look like it's falling apart, but there is definitely signs of cracking in the paintwork, and where the wood is starting. You can see, especially on the walls where the rain has hit it, you can see that there is signs of damage to the wood itself, which would mean that you probably wouldn't have too much of a hard time trying to break off any part or like jimmy any part off.
Okay. Because what I want to do is I would like to tie rope to arrow.
Yep.
And I would like to shoot an arrow at that frame and test the weight then afterwards to see if it can hold a person.
Lovely. I'm just going to go for, just because this will be fun, could you just roll an attack roll to see how well you place your arrow? And I know I'm asking the Arcane Archer to roll, but just letting you show off for
22.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that works, yeah. Does that hit? Roll.
It's you place the arrow exactly where you want it, hitting into the framework of the actual window itself, nowhere near off one side, so you might be tugging against the actual fixture, against the glass, or against the actual the slats that make the building itself. You give it a good hard tug, and no problem. The arrow sat quite well in the wood. You hear no kind of sounds of cracking wood or anything like that from the distance. It seems to be quite well anchored.
Okay. Well, I've found my way in. If anyone wants to follow, by all means. And I'm going to climb up.
Lovely.
I'll follow.
You follow?
Seems like a quick and easy way in.
Take the rear.
Lovely. Can I have everyone make athletic checks with advantage just to see how people do with getting up? Any issue?
Well, I'm not going to bother to roll that dice a second time.
Jayquo gets 19.
19.
24.
24. Uh-oh.
23.
23.
Ooh!
Oh, it's all going well.
It's all going too well. Okay.
It's stressing me out, I'm sorry.
I am stressed by these high rolls right now. This is not normal.
Anyway, so I will ask the question just before I throw it. If you had 3 windows you could see on your side, one either kind of like far end of the actual wall itself and one in the centre, which one would you have gone for?
Come on, you know this. It's the left-hand rule. It's the left-hand rule.
Of course, it's the left-hand rule.
That's fine.
Didn't we die because of that before?
Yeah, why wouldn't...
Yes.
Yeah, we did actually.
Literally just died.
Anyway,
Well
so
done.
the left.
The worst has happened. We've died doing that roll.
So, I'm going to pop this over here so I don't have to look at it. You climb up the wall. No one catches you. I'm assuming that you pull the rope up so it's not hanging down the side of the wall.
Yeah.
Cool. Just making sure.
Sorry, I was just answering to Liam there. Like, I was assuming.
No, no, absolutely. That was the initial plan. As soon as everyone was up, I was waiting to see if we all actually got up first.
Yep, you're all fine. You're all fine. You climb up.
I'd have done it.
I will go with Izzdril as you're the first coming into the room.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself in a what looks like kind of like a dressing room. If you think kind of theatrically, it's got like a shelving area down the far end of the room. There are kind of like there are kind of seats that have been placed out in kind of like a more meeting vibe rather than in any sort of like comfort or like how this room might be used in any other capacity. On the shelving area, you can see a collection of like makeup errata. So there's like you can see like a silvered brush. You can see a powder box. You can see like a small box which you would assume would be holding jewelry. There are a couple of like different pots in front of a mirror that sits in front of this the shelving area. I believe that is everything in this room. There are 2 doors that you can see from here. Just double check that. Yes, that's right. I'm making sure I'm in the right room. There are 2 doors that you can see. One door is directly ahead of you on the western wall, and one is on the north wall itself, like smack bang in the middle of the wall. This room is quite long widthwise and quite thin lengthwise, so it's about 15 feet in terms of length north to south, and then about 25 feet west to east.
Expecting something worse to have happened.
Chose wisely.
Don't say that. Now you're going to bring it on us. Something worse is probably about to happen, isn't it?
Something wicked this way comes.
You're in a false sense of security right now.
I saw a false sense of security.
Okay.
And yes, all of you managed to get up without a hitch. Very deftly managing to get up, no sound or any creaking or anything like that that might trigger any guards that were walking around. Yes.
Hail the athletic rolls.
Do apologise. There is one other door. There's one on the south.
3 doors then.
Yes, there's one on the south as well. Apologies, it
Okay.
looked like a window on my drawing.
I guess the quickest thing to do is probably going to be go up to the doors and just try and listen through them to see.
Yeah. Make a perception
Pick
check.
a door.
All of us, or is that just Liam?
Whoever's going to do it, or you can leave Izzdril to do it each door.
There's 3 doors, one each.
19.
19, yeah.
Can I check something before I do my roll?
Yeah.
Are we ignoring the sunlight sensitivity disadvantage? Because that's not a thing that our drow have, right, Liam?
Correct.
So I can ignore this disadvantage block.
Yeah, as a surface dweller, no.
You're also inside.
I just didn't want to roll with disadvantage.
Yeah.
That was a 15.
15.
Jayquo got an unnatural 20.
A natural 20, lovely. So I'll ask the questions. Who's going to which door?
I would like to go to the one that you initially thought was a window, the one on the south.
So south, leaving our west and north.
Oh, I'll go west.
You go west, leaving...
north then?
Yep, Tristana going to the north.
I love to go west.
Anyone else who has the Pet Shop Boys in their head? You're welcome.
You know, thanks. Yeah.
Why is it going shopping that's in my head when he said go? Anyway, anyway.
I've actually got Go West in my head, unsurprisingly, because the band's name is Go West.
I don't know, my brain has gone slightly weird. Anyway, so you each hear the following. For our, we'll go with Tresura first. You hear nothing. It's just a quiet room that must be on the other side, or if anyone's in there, they're impeccably quiet. We'll come round to Izzdril next. Izzdril. You hear the gentle rocking back and forth of what sounds like someone stood the opposite side of the door. You can hear themselves shifting their weight from foot to foot just on the other side. And for Jayquo, you won't hear anything either.
Oh.
I will tell the other two quietly, away from the door.
Guys,
I'll never believe what I heard over here.
Just really quietly.
Mhm.
I mean, I know what I want to do, but I'm not gonna do it.
listen to your heart.
What's that?
Steve, can I ask a silly question?
Yep.
Because my brain's not really geographically working things out. I'm assuming the north and south ones are like adjacent rooms, and then the west would be into the center of the house more.
From what you could tell, yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. From what you can see
Yeah,
from the outside, you would be, for yourself at the north door, you'd be listening into the room that was either the middle window or potentially both windows, depending on how big that room is. For Jayquo on the south, you are listening into what is more of. It looked from the outside like definitely only one room left around the side, as kind of like a little bit of an alcove in the building itself where you've come up, and then you are listening into another room that way. And then yes, it would make sense that the door that Izzdril is at is currently within the building further.
Great. Yeah, that definitely answers that question.
Yep. Thank you.
Fantastic. I open the door.
Oh God.
Of course you do.
Lovely. You open the door.
Whole initiative.
Yeah.
Joking.
No, that is exactly what happens. You open the door, the sound would trigger as you, Izzdril will describe this for you for a moment. You see directly ahead of you a fairly, about a foot taller than yourself, sort of human figure, back to you at the moment, typical kind of leather armour, kind of just slapped on. There is no kind of like, again, no fitted outfit to these here, but you can see a balcony that you are looking down the centre of. There appears to be a kind of thinning corridor that goes down about 50 feet, and down this corridor you can see 4 other humans that are currently stood at doors. All seem to be stood in kind of like guard stance at each door, which I'll mark off in a map for you in the battle map in a moment. Just to your right you can see kind of like an opening in the floor, which would make this balcony that is looking down onto the next floor below, and a stairwell directly to your right, or to the right of this gentleman that is in the doorway. And let's jump over to a map to have a look at what this looks like. So
I regret nothing.
I don't regret you doing it. I think that was.
That's because you weren't the first person to die last time.
Nor will I be this time.
No, it's going to be me, because that's how I play.
It's gonna be May.
Way. 15.
You're rolling well so far, and none of your dice have gone in the bin, so you might be all right.
That is because I don't have a bin in this room.
Yes!
Adapt, overcome.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
So you guys, if you are on your map devices, I'm going to the stone map area. So we're going to need... Oh, okay, it doesn't want to do that, thank you.
Ooh.
I would like to draw the area, please. We're going to put it like this. 2, 3, 4, and then it goes...
Who is giant goat?
Me! I love the really weird selection of characters.
I do love how...
I'm always Triceratops, by by.
I'm always giant goat. I think, I don't know.
Love it.
Oh, I'm
the
Ice
algorithm.
Devil.
You're the ice devil.
Love it.
Okay.
I want to be the Triceratops. I want to change.
Owlbear Rodeo, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the best time. It is the worst time. I think that's about right with the distances of things. So you guys are currently, if I use, because we don't have pictures for you just yet, because I was lazy as a DM. I'm sorry. I'm going to use the bow and arrow as the obvious thing for Izzdril. Although, use the hand action. There we go. That's Izzdril. We're going to use that to be Tresura, who is in the room here. You would be about there. And then we're going to use, where's a lute or something for our musician?
Somewhat musical.
Second thing down.
There are monsters. Ah, well. We'll tell you what.
There's a loot in the character options. Second one down.
There we go. I've got.
Oh, yeah, there is.
You're there.
Yes.
Right, bad guys. Bad guys, bad guys, bad guys. We have one bad guy. Two bad guy. Thank you. 3 bad guy. How old can this joke get? Very quickly.
Very old, very quickly.
And finally, finally this way. So,
Oh no, this is too many.
Oh,
excuse me.
perfect.
So you have.
Well done.
Move this note.
It looks so neat and tidy.
So you have, as you can see on the mapping area, you have the corridor heading directly down the north for you. Not the north, sorry, the west kind of stretch with 5 guards in the corridor, all standing outside a door. Just to the right is the stairwell leading down into the next floor. So we go over to our lovely initiative roll. This is, which area was this, please, Stephen? It was V11, please, Stephen. Thank you, V11, Stephen. Roll. Can I have initiative rolls for everyone, please?
12 for Jayquo.
12, Jayquo.
Everything had been going so well. That's a 6.
6 for Izzdril. And Tresura.
Non-natural 20.
Non-natural 20. Lovely. I am just going to do a cheeky thing here and pull the curtain back to remind us all that we are recording things and things like that. Okay, cool. So this is going to be a slightly longer episode potentially because we have at this point about 10 minutes left of the episode. However, I don't feel like I could be so rude and tease a fight so short. So let's pop into this then. I'll pop some slightly fighty music on. Let's put 8-bit music on for fun.
Oh god. Oh no.
There you go. Nice. So we will start the top of the round with Tresura. Tresura, you have seen Izzdril open the door, and immediately the guard that's behind the door kind of jolts with the acknowledgement the door behind him has opened, and you can see just over the shoulder of both Izzdril and the guard behind the door a couple of people further down the corridor that all have their heads turned that way. What would you like to do?
Present my hands.
Present your hands?
And calmly say, we mean no harm. We have come in search of Vanthampur, please.
Lovely. I would say make a persuasion check with disadvantage, please.
Sure. No plus to this. It is just a straight roll. 5.
5, lovely.
Thank you for the disadvantage, Steve!
You're in a room that a guard was watching in a villa that had guards walking around. I don't mean to be a rude DM, but if you didn't have disadvantage, I would not be needed here because you'd be reading a book and you'd be having the story that you want to see. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. You raise
hard with the rules,
it is literally my one thing I do, okay?
I know. Very
you guys get to be really cool and have like 22 to stick an arrow somewhere and like do really cool characters and say things, and I just get to play this shit. Anyway, as this human man turns around, 9 o'clock, kind of stubble because it's way past 5. You have he turns around looking at you. He looks tired. He turns and just grins. And goes, "Ah, well, you found Vanthampur Villa at least, and now, I believe, I will take you to the Duke. However, it probably won't be the way you want it. Anything else for yourself, Trezura?"
She'll humbly nod her head and just do whatever's necessary to avoid a fight.
Lovely. That will bring us to Jayquo. Jayquo, you have seen this happen. What would you like to do?
Can this man who has just spoken make a wisdom saving throw?
He can indeed.
Do
That's
we
a
need
natural
to-
20.
Oh, fuck it.
I can roll
man.
good too.
No, I didn't know what to do. In that case, nothing happens.
What did you try to do?
I was just trying to cast a spell on him, but it won't work because he
What
has
type of spell was it?
hideous laughter.
Hideous laughter. Lovely. I was just going with, because you're a bard, you potentially tried to do one of their charm things that I think normally have a thing like they know it happened. However,
Yeah, but no, nothing
lovely.
like that.
So
literally nothing happens to him.
lovely.
So he is not going to do anything else right now.
Lovely. So you take a moment, and you start to just, under your breath, start muttering the incantation for hideous laughter. And as you realise that it's not taking any effect, you just kind of stand awkwardly, move from foot to foot. That will bring us to the guard at the door, who is going to take the spear he is holding, look down as he's about a foot taller, as I say, to Izzdril, and will swing down with his spear. Izzdril, may I ask, does an unnatural 20 hit?
Yep, that will.
Lovely. I don't know because you're playing a fighter now and things happen. You're not a wizard anymore and I'm confused. Lovely. He will bring it back down one-handed. So you will be taking, that's terrible, 2 points of piercing damage as he turns, bringing the spear around and stabbing towards you, definitely showing that there is no kind of scent of talking your way out of this. They are immediately going to start attacking.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Not just yet, because they're all down the other end of the corridor and there's a doorway and it's really awkward. He is also seeing this, going to do just that, and is going to step left slightly out of the way of the doorway, so you currently have full view of the corridor now as the four all turn towards you, brandishing their own spears. That will bring us to guard number 5, who's right down the other end, who is going to guard number 5.
Guard number 5.
Need to see how this plays out.
Guard number 5 is going to walk down the corridor. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 towards yourselves, holding his spear in a aggressive fashion, but doesn't actually throw it. He's just holding it. It's kind of in a marching formation sort of thing. Does nothing else. Guard 2. Nope. Guard number 2 is also going to step forward. 5, 10, 15, 20, and stands at the other side of the door itself, but does nothing. That will bring us to Izzdril.
Them.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've got a nice, easy shot lined up, but I will politely ask the captain. Would you prefer to survive, or would you prefer your men to survive?
Well, I guess that all depends on how quickly we can take the 3 of you down. There's 5 of us, as he looks back down the corridor, and just hefts the spear.
And 1 incendiary device here.
Are you using the incendiary device?
No. I'm just letting that be known.
That's fine. Completely. I'll give it to you. I know it's going to happen.
Yeah, I kind of want to hang fire on that one a little bit more. I know it will upset my sister, but I'm going to have to shoot one of these in the face to make it known.
I mean, you were attacked first. It's fine.
Lovely.
She still tried to avoid the fight. Let's just go for... I mean, they haven't done anything to me yet. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the guy, and yes, I'm fully aware that I'm gonna be rolling with disadvantage.
Go for it.
Because that's the perks of this. So disadvantage is 17.
Hits. Roll for damage.
Wow.
Man, I should always play fighters. They're so much better. Okay, so that is 13 piercing damage.
13 piercing damage.
Wow.
And then I am dumping an arcane shot into that as well.
Yep.
So can that creature make a wisdom saving throw, please, as I just add on another 2d6 damage on top?
That's a natural 1. So,
wonderful. So it takes a further 8 psychic damage and is unable to see anything farther than 5 feet away until the start of my next turn.
Wow. You'd be surprised how little it can see. As you take your arrow, you turn, and not even worrying about the short distance between yourself and the target, you just pull back as far as possible to get as much velocity to the attack. The arrow slams straight through the very weak lever that is his armor, and you just watch as his eyes glaze and he drops to his knees and drops down onto the floor. He be done. That one is a gone.
Lovely.
Good to know.
Flip. Lovely. Anything else for yourself, Izzdril?
Lay down, son. You've not even got a name badge.
Lovely.
What?
He's sassy.
You broke into their house.
I know.
And
What's the
their
symptoms
problem.
that Liam said?
Hey, I tried diplomacy.
You broke into their house. Anyway.
I still tried diplomacy.
Okay.
She did try. We
I'm
can't
just
argue.
trying to let the other people just walk out.
No, that's cool.
They don't get paid enough for this shit.
That is a
No,
very
just
good point.
leave with your hands
and
up.
They
it is
should join a union.
I will ask the question. Could you make an
I was just about to
intimidation
say a
check?
union.
Absolutely.
Should join a union.
Well,
What
they
is even
should.
going on in this episode?
Let me see my skills, because I don't know what my
Dragon.
intimidation would be. It's not great. But, I mean, okay, unnatural 20 though.
A natural 20, lovely. The fact they rolled very low, I'm going to say there is a moment where you do the one shot on the apparent leader of the group, and the other three down the end just kind of definitely have an air of gone from aggressive and hostile to more defensive, and we will see what happens with them in but a moment. That'll bring us to guards 4 and 3, who are all going to go, as you have rightly said, they just throw their spears out, fuck this, and start walking towards the stairwell. There will be no aggressive action from their turn, so I'll ask everyone else what they would do to see if we end combat here, or do we continue anything. You will notice that all of them, as you have rightly pointed out, they're not paid enough, and also just had one of their taken out in one. What would you guys do in this instance?
I would place my hand over the handle of my rapier, but not draw it, and say, can I be escorted to your leader, or do we need to take more?
One of them will respond with, we're not going down there. We're going. It's the house is yours. Good luck. Anything else for anything else? For anyone?
No.
Can I ask them to at least point me in the right direction before they bugger off?
Yep. They will suggest to go downstairs, and it will be the door to the left of the stairwell that you would need to go in to go down to see the boss. Excuse me. They will also point out, because you've asked for it, that the boss's son is in the room down this corridor here, points to the further leftmost door, and says the son of the boss is in that room there if you'd like to speak with him. And then
Can I ask?
Oh, God.
Can I ask how old the son is? Would that be something that Jayquo would know, for example, if Jayquo has been hit before?
Jayquo would know because you're from Baldur's Gate, so you know there are
Probably,
three.
yeah.
You know 3 sons of the Duke. There are the 2 that are normally within the city themselves, which are Mortlock and Amric. They're very weaselly and quite good with their business sense. There is a 3rd son that is said to normally never be allowed out of the villa due to his illnesses. And that would be Frustwell, who is the youngest, about 19 or so.
Thrustwell. Thrustwell, as in TH.
Yes.
Thrust. Sword Thrustwell.
Yes.
I see. Can I say, retroactively, I filled them in on the Vanthampur family on the ride?
Yeah, you had 2 days of chat, so you would have been able to fill in with that. You would know just information. Amric is kind of a money launderer who kind of has a base of operation on a boat somewhere in the harbour of Baldur's Gate, and Mortlock is not normally seen outside of his basically playing bodyguard to his mum.
Cool.
Lovely. They literally will just start walking out and walk down the stairs and head off into the wherever. What would you guys like to do?
I don't want to go and see the sun.
Yeah. So I guess we're seeing Thrustwell.
I really want to use the sun as emotional blackmail.
No, we won't do that. Don't worry.
I was like,
It was more, do I give a certain bit more information to Jayquo, which would have been passed to you guys, or do I go, no?
No, we're just going for it.
No, that's fine.
Yep.
It was more about what you were just saying there. It doesn't matter. Lovely.
As far as we're
I'm
concerned,
going
I've told
to-
you everything I know.
Sorry.
Yes. Sorry, I am very much going to knock on the door.
Okay.
And use my sweetest, kindly voice and say, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I was wondering if you could help me convince your mum to see me, please.
From behind the door, there is no. It doesn't open. You do hear the answer of, "Ha! My mum would rather me die first. Sorry, love."
Not the
And
response.
then you hear the door lock.
Shit. Is all I will say.
And it is there that we
Yeah.
will pick up next episode. Lovely.
Okay.
Welcome to Vanthampur Villa. Lovely. So yes, we will pick up here next episode. For those that are interested in all the information of what will be coming up in the next few weeks, head over to our social medias, as we've got some exciting things currently brewing in the background. So by the time this has come out, you might be seeing things. This is sneaky. If it's not come out yet, secrets. Anyway, but yes, please join us once more next fortnight with the next part of Vanthampur Villa, where we will be potentially meeting the matriarch herself. All that want to say bye? No. First, you're not allowed to say bye until I have one person like the video. I want one person to subscribe, and I want one person to ring the bell, and then and only then will we say bye. Anyone that wants to say bye, say bye.
I've wanted you for weeks. Bye!
Bye.